The smarter version of this movie is GoldenEye. GoldenEye was such a hit that they said just make the same movie again, but they made it in appearance, only in appearance, with zero understanding for the story elements that were underlying that movie. And they put a dumbass in charge of this one instead of a smart dude who cares like Martin Campbell. They just put a rented director in there who didn't understand GoldenEye and remade it, but only in appearance, and then rushed it out the door. It's like shameless in that regard. And that's where it's not the worst Bond movie ever made. It's like borderline Diamonds Are Forever, where it's just like we don't give a f*** and we're just shameless. Like we're here to eat popcorn and titties and explosions.
Yeah, as big dumb action as the pre-title sequence is, I really like it.
It's hard to hate it. You can't hate this movie. You try to hate this movie, but you can't.
I will say the difference though between those two movies though, it's like GoldenEye, they're introducing a new Bond. We're getting our first appearance of Pierce Brosnan, so we're slowly showing Pierce Brosnan in the film, and we kind of do that in this movie. But the introduction is more like you said. It's a lot louder. And the other thing is, it has nothing. Doesn't really weigh. It barely weighs on the plot. Yes, we see one of Carver's minions, and he's got the device, but that's it.
Exactly. We always talk about a pre-title sequence, a prologue that is like relevant, and this one is, but only just in like
one minor detail. Just introduces another character, and you're like, okay, and it doesn't play on the rest of the plot.
I do appreciate, though, that continuing the post-Soviet Union thing, there was a problem with like, okay, this entire country is falling apart, and they have all these weapons.
It's like a terrorist supermarket. Country people keep anything locked up.
Yeah. Well, that was a real thing. It was it was hard to keep a lid on all these things. But all in all, okay, here's the encoder. Who cares? We introduced that briefly. But let's get back to where would he like the bombs delivered? Like it's cool and sleek, but it's big dumb shit. It's like, and then naked women, naked digital women, and all that, and X-rays. For some reason, we have X-rays. And then
it was cool.
And then where does the movie open up? Bond's just in bed with a supermodel. We don't know why. He just is.
That's the hottest part. And
you know what?
You know what I find strange is that is also the hottest part of this movie is when he's sleeping with the supermodel. Yeah, he has this sexy moment with Terry Hatcher, but it's like a brief, just unzips her dress and then you see her from their backside. And you're like,
so you don't see her pregnant belly.
You don't see her pregnant belly. And then she obviously sleeps with Bond, but we don't really see much else than that except for her walk of shame.
Yeah.
And then that scene ends. And then the next time we see anything remotely sexy is maybe that shower scene, which is kind of like, eh. Yeah. And then the very end of the movie is them making out. And you're like, okay. But like compared to the last movie, we had GoldenEye and, Natasha and him are like they sleep together before even the third act. And like, it's a pretty hot, steamy scene. And he has a hot scene with Onatop.
Oh, you think you can hurt me?
And there's a scene before that with Onatop killing that guy. It's kind of hot.
Don't remind Charlie.
It's so much better.
He does a lot of biting in this movie.
Yeah, I know. I specifically noticed that. Like,
my theory is, I think he misses Xenia Zargevna Onatop, who just all the bite, like they, and he's like trying to find himself another S&M babe, but he's so bitey.